What was the cringiest thing you did in your first relationship? Early in my current relationship, neither myself nor my girlfriend wanted to be the first to say I love you. To avoid saying it, I once said I like you with all the likes in the world. In Catholic middle school, my religion teacher used to always tell us love the person, hate the sin. So for the longest time, I told my girlfriend I love you, but I hate your sin. And she did the same. Thank you for reminding me of this. I had a crush on a girl, and after years of innocent flirting I didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I texted her, "I love them big ol' boobies of yours," and she never spoke to me again. I still cringe thinking about it. It was just so out of the blue. I was just so stuck in this innocent flirting mode and didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I just decided I would take a trust fall, and I fell flat and hard. LOL. I love them big ol' boobies of yours. Smoothest thing I've heard in years. For some reason I pretended like I didn't ever eat. I would never eat around them. It makes me cringe to think about it now. This reminds me of my freshman year of college when I became friends with these 3 guys, 2 of whom lived in a condo together. I'd hang out at their places for hours, but I didn't want to use their bathroom, because I'm a lady, so I'd leave when I couldn't hold it in anymore and use the first public bathroom I came across. I thought they didn't know. One day one of them shows me to the bathroom furthest away from the living room, turns on the light, fan, and faucet, hands me a can of air freshener, and told me to please feel free to use their bathroom. How did they find out? That's pretty funny. The piss trail was a dead giveaway. Pretty obvious if you hang out with someone for many hours at different days, and the person never goes to the bathroom ever. I wore a floor-length leather jacket to our first date, because the Matrix was really cool at the time. Congrats on the ex. Did she take the red pill or the blue pill? I was too clingy and insecure. He would hang out with his friends and I'd text him, "Hi, do you remember me?" I was just this psycho itch. I would not date my younger self. I would send my girlfriend emails to let her know my daily plan and everything I was doing. And I would expect the same from her. No wonder she dumped me after 4 months. My lack of self-esteem made me the clingiest. We weren't official yet, so when he held my hand in public I told him we can only do it for 5 seconds at a time, and I would literally count down, out loud, the seconds. Yeep. We still joke about it and I still cringe. You guys, a thread has been so healthy for me. Never have I ever felt so secure in who I am as a person. Because, wow, I may have been a cringy little it back then, but Jesus Christ. Guys, thank you all so much for sharing all these stories. This has been immensely cathartic. There was this guy that I used to make out with that lived on a lagoon. We knew another person that lived nearby, so we could use her paddle boat to pass by the back of his house. We didn't see him out in the yard. So desperate and hormone-fueled young me starts yelling his name to see if he'd come out. This was pre-cell phones. I yelled and yelled for a long time, doing circles in the paddle boat, and the friend I was with was like, "Dude, give it up. He's not home." But he was home. He told us later that his whole family was sitting down to eat and heard me screaming his name over and over like a frickin' cat in heat. So embarrassing. Why didn't he just frickin' come out and tell y'all to shut up for a few seconds? LOL. If a text went unanswered for more than 5-7 minutes, I would hit resend again and again, and this was like 2007, so phone plans were not what they are now, and I was using my mom's, which had no texting included. Pull a guy and pull parents' phone bill. I would do this too, except with calls. Would call, let it ring twice to leave a missed call, then hang up and repeat. The way I figured it, if I left like 20 missed calls it would come across as showing her how much I really wanted to talk to her. Just point to a hole in the ground so I can jump into it, please. When I was 14 I had this boyfriend and we used to have pretty standard makeout sessions after school. Well, we would be in the middle of kissing. Then he would get up, say he had to use the bathroom, come back and start kissing me again. This would happen over and over. So one day I'm like, "Why do you always go to the bathroom when we are making out?" And he looks visibly uncomfortable and just sort of shrugs. I started thinking he had bowel problems. Then later I was talking to a male friend about it and he told me my boyfriend was probably disappearing into the bathroom to jerk it. I didn't believe him and was convinced for the longest time my first boyfriend had like IBS or something. Now I look back and think I was a little naive. My first girlfriend frequently ran off to the bathroom after making out also. That was the cry. Driving back from the drive-in theater, she takes her bra off under her shirt because it is uncomfortable, and my next move? Turn on my bare naked ladies CD and recite all of 1 week. I don't think I hit the high notes in the purest form, as it didn't seem to have the intended effect of wooing. The bra thing gets me. I can imagine the train of thought. Is she into me? I need a sign from God. Please God, give me a sign. She just took off her bra. Still no sign. I cringe, because that was me at one point too. This girl I liked in high school. I was at her house. We were in her room and I was on her bed. She started changing and took off her pants. I obediently turned away to give her privacy. She jumped into bed as a joke. I pretended not to notice, because I had no idea how to proceed. I look back at that moment all the time and ponder what could have been. X? That's what could have been. The answer is X. Embarrassing, uncomfortable teenage X, but still X. This was less a relationship and more a crush. He was walking me to the subway station, and I wanted to hold his hand. I reached for it and he just kind of kept his hand stiff. So I walked with him with our palms flat against each other's, held out in front of us. Why 15-year-old me? Why? I had a similar experience. I was on a date with a boy walking around a mall when I decided to reach over to hold his hand. The second our hands touched, he pulled away and said, "I'm too tired." I still laugh at this, although it's probably more cringy for him. Can't hold hands, sorry. I have a headache. I sat in the car with her for an hour debating whether I should kiss her. I debated out loud too. No joke. I was literally like, I could kiss you now, but should I? Dear God, why did she ever date me? Can I kiss you? Was the smoothest thing I could come up with. We were 16 and we both loved sushi. After payday we'd go to our favorite spot and feed sushi to each other 4 hours, one roll at a time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We would kiss each roll before shoving it into the other's mouth. What kind of weeb hell am I in? If this doesn't make your kokoro go doki doki, I don't know what will. At least you were mutually over-enthusiastic. My first one, he broke up with me and I started bawling for a good hour while he hugged me. Pool dude probably just wanted to home. My first serious one. I never talked to him, because I was shy. But we made out at school every day in front of everyone. God, I freaking hate teenage me. LOL, I'm also shy and I had a relationship when I was 15 and the guy was 17. I rarely talked and his friends were jerks about the age difference, but we made out a lot. Then he broke up with me and broke my heart and I would put sad lyrics on my AIM away messages and info. He blocked me, shot me PLZ. When my high school boyfriend broke up with me, I was more angry than sad and I told everyone in an away message that his semen was chunky. LOL, looking back I do wonder why his semen was so chunky, and also realized why I was single for so many years after. Holy replies. Well, it was rude of me to tell everyone we know that he had chunky jizz and he was very embarrassed by it. I doubt he had gonorrhea since we never even had sex. I just gave him head all the time and got nothing in return and he stayed a virgin for God knows how long. I don't know, I guess your guess is as good as mine. He was 14 and I was 13. I was young, dumb and thought I was in love. We were in the kitchen with my mom and at least one of my stepsisters. My mom is doing something at the counter and my boyfriend stands behind her, pulls his dong out and says, "Hey mom, what flavor is this?" She turns around and I've never seen her turn back around so quick. I don't remember the conversation following. This was 11 years ago. But although I thought it was weird and felt uncomfortable about that, I laughed it off. Did I mention how dumb I was? It was cringy on both sides, but more so on his part. I gotta say, you win the cringe contest. Not so much your part, but what the frick? Just whipping it out. What does this dude do now? Or did you cut all ties with the sedgelord? I cut ties with him, but my stepsisters kind of kept contact with him through the years. He got into meth. He would propose to, usually younger, girls very quickly and jumps from relationship to relationship, all while immediately claiming how in love he is with each girl. He's just really trashy. I'm so glad he was only part of my life for 3 months. I had to read this about 5 times to make sure I was reading it right. Oh my God. Out of all these stories, yours made cringe the most. I am imagining it playing out in my head, and I just, no. First relationship, 14 years old, with the girl for a few weeks, and decide it's time to find out what's under her pants. Watched PN before, so I knew, but you know, never touched it, audibly said wow, it's squishy. She still brings it up 15 years later, we're still friends. I cringe every time. Throwaway account. I lost my virginity to my first girlfriend in the cringiest way possible. We were in missionary position and the moment I penetrated her, I kind of fell on top of her softly and cried out. There. I gave it to you. It being my virginity. I don't know why, but I was emotional about it. Yeah. I cringe extremely hard whenever I think about that moment. I've read every comment and this one takes the cake. You poor soul. I hope you have recovered. I twitched. I was cringing so hard when I read this. This is one of the funniest things I've read all month. Dude, thanks for that. Oh my god. Just reading this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. My ex's mom wasn't a big fan of me, so I wrote a 13-page paper introducing myself and proving why she should give me a chance. But, did it work? Nope. Made her family dislike me even more. Must have not been in MLA format. When I was 14, I stood outside for my then girlfriend for like 2 hours just to see her come outside. She thought it was creepy and we broke up after 2 days. Do you go to bed and right before you sleep think of this moment and then audibly just screech? I'm not him, but I will now. Yep, she was right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and leave a comment which story you liked the most. Subscribe and hit the bell notification for updates on our latest videos. And don't forget to check the links in the description box for more awesome content.